Hey everyone, you know who it is? Yeah, me. I'm sorry. I'm back again with part 2 of top 20 custom tracks unknown CTGP. The long-awaited top 10 list, I guess. So yeah, before we get into this video, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. We're only 1,000 subscribers away from surpassing MKWII Go. I really appreciate if you subscribe. I think we'll be able to surpass them within the next 2 years. But yeah, also by subscribing, you ensure that Fatality 94 does not surpass me. We are only 27 subscribers ahead of him at the time of recording this. So what you gotta do is smash the subscribe button! Yeah, let's just get on with the video. That sounds really cringy. I don't know why I'm even doing this. Why am I even doing YouTube at this point? Moving on to Chemic's Library, which is number 10 on this list. Originally created by You Got's own 35000 VR and remade by McLeod. This track's visuals are honestly amazing compared to the original because, well, what Mystery's done is honestly fantastic. I do have a couple of gripes with it, being that the ramps just send you way too high, which is the main problem with this track on, as to why it's not in CTGP yet. But yeah, this track, visually very appealing. It plays pretty well for the most part, and it comes in at number 10. Number 9. Cliffside Court by Luke Chandler. I believe it was his first ever custom track made, and it's honestly a pretty good track. Because for one, it's an interesting theme because I don't think any other custom tracks like this. Because it's based in like a court, it's named Cliffside Court, and has many routes right here. This is not the fastest way, because as you can tell, I really did not know what I was doing. But yeah, lots of tricks that you can get in that area, and there is a shortcut coming up right here. You can just drift into it, and voila. And that middle section is actually off-road, and so is that darker shade of the darker wood is also off-road. Now you can also do a cut at the beginning here. I'm not sure how much faster that is, but anyway, moving on to number 8, Chill Hill 2 by Tass Reese. I think that's how you pronounce it. I have no idea. One of my favourite winter theme tracks, and it plays really well, except that I have one problem with this track, being the mushrooms being a little bit unusual, because they're not actually mushrooms from the KMP object. And what's really cool about this track is, as you know, the Goomba and the Penguin has a Santa hat on it, which is a nice touch. And if you see my Variety Pack Cups video, I don't exactly remember which one it was, but I played Chill 2. It plays really well even with inside drifting carts, because I was able to make all the turns with the Dragonetti or the Honeycomb. Anyway, moving on to Sahara Hideout, which is number 7, made by ZPL Gaming and Spyro. This track, I think it's heavily inspired from Stroben's Desert, because as you can tell, like in the sky, it's all crazy, much like Stroben's Desert 2 was. But this track plays way better than Stroben's Desert. This is what Stroben's Desert was trying to be like. And I really like Sahara Hideout because there's lots of shortcuts to take, and you should go watch the video by, I think it was either by Spyro or ZPL, made a video showcasing all the strats. Yeah, one nitpick I have is in this pyramid section. The pyramid is paper thin, which I find very unusual. But yeah, this track is very long, as you can tell. It's 2 laps, and there's 3 different versions of this. You've got day, night, and never. I'm playing the never version. Now these rainbow things are on the ground. You can trick off them, which I find very interesting. And for some reason, yeah, I got lost at that part because I didn't take the right turn because I wasn't really paying attention. And you can actually see ZPL's name in the left over there, but you can't trick off that rainbow path as you come along to the end. There are many shortcuts on this track, like I said. But moving on to number 6, which is Forest Creek by Oaken. Quite possibly his best track, honestly, because it looks amazing and it plays really well. One of the few forest tracks that plays really well. Now there's a shortcut right here. It requires 1 shroom, and the ramps work really well. Unlike Chemic's Library, the ramps don't send you too high up, and they're not really much of a pain. There is only like a couple of shortcuts, which means that this track is more of a front running track. But hey, I don't know why this is not in CTGP yet. It might be getting into it soon, but yeah. We're going to be moving on to the top 5. Number 5, Koopa Shell Pipeline by Mystery99. Now when I first saw this track, I was blown away. This track plays really well, looks great as well. Unfortunately, it won't be getting into CTGP anytime soon because I think it's mainly due to lag. But hey, this track functions really well, but I do sort of have a problem with the half-pipe section that's coming up in the sewer section. It does seem a bit odd, but it does function quite well. And I like the Koopas that are running about. They can be quite a hazard. So coming along to the end section of the track, and you trick out of this pipe, and there's just this long straightaway. Now there is a couple of shortcuts, as you see on the mini map, where there is a few ramps that you can take. There's one at the beginning here, you see that tight, and there's a ramp there, and there's also a mud cut coming up right here if you go straight. Anyway, that was Koopa Shell Pipeline. Moving on to number 4, Unfinished Mario Circuit by GU. This track is what Mario Circuit tries to be. Well, it's obviously unfinished as there's a few constructions, but this is honestly one of the best Mario Circuit tracks that has ever been created, and I really like what GU has done with it. It's very short, which is what Mario Circuit usually is, and there is a couple of shortcuts, like one right here, you shroom, and there's a boost panel, and there is one more shortcut coming up where you go in between the containers and trick off that ramp. Moving on to number 3. Now this is going to go on an adventure. This track is The Plane of Atlantis, also made by GU, and this track is very long, and it's obviously inspired by the myth of Atlantis. Now, those pillars, I sort of have a gripe with them because they're much like the pillars from Dry Ruins and not sticky ramps. Anyway, we traverse into the depths of Atlantis, is what I think this area is. It's supposed to be the underwater city of Atlantis. Now, this section is quite interesting because, well, if you go where the fences are, I believe that's the only part where there's regular roads. I think everywhere else is off-road. I do have one gripe with this track, and it's past the spiral section. The spiral actually functions quite well, maybe not as well as the Gothic castle, but yeah, this section, which is the sort of cave section. The road's slippery, which I really do not like because it makes the Flame Runner, or it makes these turns a lot more difficult with Flame Runner, as you can tell. Now, GU has also dared people to try and fully explore this track, because supposedly there's a lot of things that you can do on this track. There is a few shortcuts, but I'm not going to showcase them because this track's very long. As you can tell, it's a one lap track, and we traverse into a cannon, which leads to another cannon. Yeah, I don't know what else GU could have done with that, but I feel like something could have been done to make it a bit better. And we traverse onto this section which leads up to the beach. Section in a second, right here. And I actually messed up right here and accidentally hit the counterquack. But yeah, this beach section has a few hills which you can trick off, and a couple of boost panels, and some counterquacks that are sort of hard to avoid. And we've got this section which I find very interesting. No custom track has ever done something like that, where the water comes out and it's like a mushroom pad. But anyway, coming on to number 2, Boshi Skatepark by Luke Chandler. Now you're probably wondering why this track's number 2. Well, I mean, it doesn't look like something that's beautiful like Lunar Lights or even the planet of Atlantis, but this track plays so well. I have so much fun playing this track, especially in Variety Pack 200cc. This track is a lot of fun to play. And we traverse onto this halfway rail where there's the skateboarding toads from Night Factory, and that's a lap of Boshi Skatepark. There is a shortcut right here at the start where you shroom and trick, and there's a strat that you can do here where you can take that turn tight, and there's a nice grass car at the end. Moving on to number 1, the track that you've all been waiting for, Warp Pipe Island, originally based off of Wing Catman's DS Dokkan course and made by Luke Chandler. You knew this track would come on this list because, well, I love it. This track functions really well and I have a blast playing this track. The water geysers work really well, but supposedly they're not consistent, and there's this shroomer shortcut that you can do. Unfortunately, get unlucky and didn't get the trick off that pipe. But yeah, Warp Pipe Island looks pretty good, I must say, and it functions really well for a custom track that was based off a Bayer course. And yeah, that's really it. That's my top 10 and 20 custom tracks not in CTGP. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to thumbs up if you enjoyed my picks. Leave in the comments section below, what was your favourite track that's not in CTGP yet? I hope one day that some of these tracks do get into CTGP because they function really well, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.